The fact that BMW didn't do anything about that, it just really turned me off on the whole brand. It really made me question if they really even care about their customers. And for that reason, I don't think I will ever get another BMW. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Money Hardaway, aka Car Wash Money. And the day has finally come. My BMW M850 is going bye-bye. I will be returning it to the dealership today. I did lease the car. I didn't buy the car, and I will explain why I leased it later on in the video. But for today, let's focus on the goods and the bads. I want to say I loved the car so bad, but there were so many issues, there were so many problems, and we're gonna get into that right now. All right, guys, so let's get into the things I actually liked about my car before we get into the bads. Number one, the looks. Very sporty look, very beautiful car. This thing would turn heads a lot. I loved that about the car. The second plus is not only does it look fast, it is very fast. This thing takes off like a rocket ship. It's over 500 horsepower, all-wheel drive. I absolutely loved the drive on this thing. Also, the interior, very beautiful interior. I got the red guts. You just can't beat the white on red. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So now the bad part about owning and driving my BMW M850 for the last 3 years. The problems on this thing are countless. I have a pile of paperwork from 2 or 3 different BMW dealerships. Issue number one on this thing, and I'm talking about within the first month or two, was the electrical. The screens on my speedometer would turn off, my GPS would turn off, I would have my kids in the car, I'd be driving on the freeway, all the electrical would turn off. It was just ridiculous. So the car sat in the service center for months for that first issue. Second issue, there were noises coming from the bottom of the chassis. Whenever it would start up, it would make this horrible noise down there. It stayed at the shop for another month because of that. As I'm trying to explain to you guys the issues on the car, they're just slipping my mind. And I'm gonna give you guys the perfect example of how long the car was sitting, okay? This car lived at the BMW dealerships. It literally lived there. By now, I'm supposed to be having 36,000 miles. That was my agreement for the lease. I am almost 10,000 miles short of what I'm supposed to be at after 3 years of having the car. That's because the car sat a total of about, I'm gonna say 5 or 6 months at the BMW dealership, just getting repair after repair after repair. Not only was the electrical an issue, it still may be an issue. Thank goodness there are no issues as of the last time it came out of service, which was literally only a month ago. And that might be because I haven't driven the car. I didn't want to take the car and have more issues. So the car's literally been sitting for 3 weeks because I didn't want to risk it coming up with any more problems. I might never even consider ever getting another BMW again, man. In addition to the problems, this was a very expensive car. The sticker price on the car was almost $130,000. If I would have decided to buy it, I mean, I would have just stayed with all these issues until the day I got rid of it, man. Which is the reason I didn't buy the car. Like I said earlier, I leased it. Me being a detailer, me being around all these luxury cars and exotic cars and high-end cars, there are very few of these luxury high-end cars that are actually worth buying. And by that, I mean you won't be running into many issues in the future. They're very reliable, etc., etc. This is a car that I knew over time it just wasn't gonna last, so I leased it. I just didn't expect to have that many problems very early on. Again, within the first month of owning it, I was already running into issues. And it's sad to say because I wanted to love the car so bad. And I was just very disappointed, man. And in addition to that, I was very disappointed with BMW themselves. I explained to BMW the issues. They seemed not to care. I live in California where there is something called the lemon law. If you believe you bought a car with issues that can be labeled a lemon, you're eligible to get all your payments back, your down payment back, all your money back. I hired a few lawyers to try to do that for me. Sadly, they said because of the issues with the car, they weren't going to be able to proceed with the lawsuit or whatever you want to call it. But I did try to get my money back. I did speak to BMW. They said there's not enough proof for it to be labeled a lemon law, therefore I couldn't get any money back. My thing is, I'm driving this car around with 2 daughters, with a baby girl, not even a year old, and another daughter that was 8, 9, and 10 years old while I drove the car. And the speedometer is turning off on me. It's not reliable. I don't feel safe driving the car. Meanwhile, I have my 2 daughters in the back of the car having to ride with me. The fact that BMW didn't do anything about that, it just really turned me off on the whole brand. It really made me question if they really even care about their customers. I didn't have to get my money back, but at least offer me something. And they were very cold about it, man. And for that reason, I don't think I will ever get another BMW. I'm just disappointed in the car, and I'm disappointed in BMW as a brand. It's just, I don't know how they can have any loyal customers with service like they did. Talking about the actual car service, because I still have, again, I believe there's still problems with the car and the customer service on the phone. That being said, with the chapter of this car being over today, I have been looking at some cars. If you guys follow me closely, you already know it's already out there. I've been looking at a Porsche GT3, my dream car from the beginning of Wavy. For 10 years now, I've been dreaming about this damn car. I'm finally gonna be in a position to buy it. The only thing keeping me back from that is I have a family. It's not gonna be a very practical car. If anything, if you've been in a GT3, you know they're not the most comfortable daily cars, man. That's like a nice weekend car. That's a nice cruise car, but to be driving it every day, it's not very practical. So we'll see what's gonna happen with that. I am considering a few SUVs. I don't want to name the SUVs. Some of you may know what SUVs I'm talking about. They're still gonna be fast because I need my speed. I need my V8. But we'll see what happens with that, man. So thank you guys all for tuning in. I hope you take something from this video, especially when you're investing a big chunk of money into a car like this. Make sure it's something reliable, it's something safe for you to drive, it's something safe for you to have your kids in. And most of all, make sure you're able to enjoy the car, obviously, man. If you're gonna put them so hard-earned money like that, make sure you can enjoy the car. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for many more episodes. I'm usually sticking to detailing / car relating content. Follow me on Instagram at Money Hardaway, on TikTok at Car Wash Money, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.